Hello, everybody.
Oh, Jesus.
Welcome to episode number 16. We're still playing in the same session.
116?
Oh, yeah. No, we've played 16
16.
sessions. We played 16 sessions today.
We're so efficient.
Yeah, it's crazy. 116. And yeah, I won't waste too much time. You guys killed demons next to where Iceroad Shrine used to be. Figured out that the demons were kind of sapping away the energy or like continuously destroying the energy with their own blight, but managed to kill them off, which restabilized the gates since it's an active magical force that is kind of self-contained, and with it you traversed to the Feywild for the very first time, which kind of Iceroad has been hinting at for quite a while now. Though
nobody almost destroyed the gate either.
No, totally not.
Green, attack!
Yeah.
President attacked the Dragonborn tribe. They're blighted. Kill them.
Kill him now! Light it! Just set the entire silver forest on fire, because the grass is green. Yeah. But you step through and would end up in a somewhat unfamiliar landscape, at least to what you probably were expecting from all the legends and tales you heard of the Feywild, dense, luscious forest with strange beings. Instead, it was a completely burned and scorched landscape, as if a wildfire just ran through here. Though with the help of a quick sending, you were given a brief location where to go, and it seems like not the entire Fey forest has been burned to crisp, just the location where you kind of turned up. And going inside of the strange forest that seems very much alive, Arik having problems to cope with this strange reality he now finds himself in. The mentor of Iceroad would come and greet you, as he seemed a little bit nervous and on edge, and wanted to talk to you in a more safer place, kind of even like ushering and rushing you to kind of get somewhere safe. So, question of the day is, what do you think is making him so nervous? That's a question to ask. So yeah.
Craig, our expander, human artificer.
Yeah.
What is making him so nervous? Well, considering last time I said that he kind of ran away because he saw the ongoing threat or the emerging threat happening. I feel like he might sense that the phase connection to the material plane is on basically life support. Like he's, something, it could end anytime. So everything he does is very much like, okay, we just gotta go. We gotta fix this, do that. So I think he's basically working with borrowed time, basically.
Alright, that's an interesting guess. Alright, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Play wizard. You're a quartermancer. I will go another option. I'll just say the Fae is angry. There's probably bigger things that we've seen so far that are stomping around angry, and anything at or around this burn landscape upsets them and might just attack before saying hello. So I think there's, citizens of the Fae that are unhappy and are just, they want to rumble. They want to punish something.
See. Alright. That's a pretty good guess.
Hi, I'm Skit, and I play Isara Leafina, the cleric druid. And I am going somewhat in the same vein as Matt, but a little different. I think some entity or some forces have taken a spot in the Feywild and have started kind of asserting dominance, and now most likely we're gonna have to deal with it somehow, and it's going to fall on our lap. And yeah, that's what I think right now, is some sort of power or entity is trying to ascertain dominance on the Feywild, and now the Fey are trying to protect themselves from that threat.
Alrighty. Well, with that, I think just for the sake of time, we'll skip the intro this time. I don't think we have to listen to the intro every single time today. That feels like a lot. And instead, we'll jump right back into the action, which is on horseback. Though, probably didn't take the time to take the saddle out, but...
Eric said he did.
Oh, you did?
I did say that.
All right, okay.
I did say it.
You did do that, and so it took a couple of minutes to take that out. Well, actually, no, it doesn't take that long. It takes probably a minute to take it out. And you're on your way within a strange forest. Riding through it is also a little bit nauseating, especially for well, all of you who aren't living beings from the Fae itself, as everything has this weird colory change. Like everything kind of shifts from one hue to the other. So it's almost like those, you know, those still videos that try and hallucinate you, like those TV screens that have just these changing color patterns. As you're riding through it in a rather brisk speed, it has the same effect of everything kind of just illuminating with strange colors. And especially because everything is moving while you're also moving, it's just a little bit disorienting. And you also feel like that just the nature of this place makes orientation very difficult. But you are only following the lead of Azathia, and you ride for about 20 minutes or so until you kind of reach a small glade where he stops. It is a not large glade by any means, maybe like a 60-foot radius of just grass with a couple of flowers here and there, all very different hues and colors. There's a singular stone that kind of sits in the middle with a small bowl that is on top of it that kind of looks a little bit familiar to the bowl that you are familiar with, Israel. And he kind of just trots inside of there. You can also see that all the trees themselves build this circle, and it seems to be almost a perfect circle. And once again, every time you look at anything within this Feywild, you get the sense that you can see a face or you can read emotion in whatever you're looking at. And you get the sense that all the trees around here are looking away, almost as if they have their backs turned towards you as you step inside. And you can see where you step inside, the tree kind of make the space to create an opening for you to step through without problem. And after you step inside, they kind of close back as you're now in a encased circle. And as you do so, you can see that brambles and bushes kind of grow up the sides of the trees, kind of creating a wall of nature. And as you kind of step inside, you can see that Azathia kind of transform back. His fur illuminates for a bit as it sheds from his skin and turns back into a humanoidish elf form, where you now see Azathia for the first time. Gives similar vibes to Zephyrus, as in that he looks like a very old elf, but he has distinctively much pointier ears than Zephyrus. While Zephyrus also has quite pointy ears, being a high elf, Azathia has even like twice the size. They go, you know, like a feet out from his head. They're very pointy. His hair itself is has a deep kind of yellow and orangish hue that also kind of changes occasionally. Also has this very strange shifting pattern to it, while he adorns robes made out of very spring-like colors at the moment, which is a little bit different from what you're used to, I swear, because back in the usual shrine he was adorned in more purplish hues, but he seems to have now kind of taken on what you would know as his spring form. And he kind of sits down, and as he does so, he kind of just does a couple of hand movements, and you can see that roots start to grow out of the ground, creating seating spaces, little chairs that then kind of walk their way towards you, behind you, so you can just sit down. And he himself gets one for himself and then sits there. And now that he's in human form, you can see that he has a more somewhat stressed look on his face. Very old, very fine features of elven lineage. Has a very pointy chin, very pointy nose, has deep eye sockets with two eyes inside of them that give off a very light, luminous, orangish glow. And you can also see that swirling around him constantly are autumn leaves that kind of appear and disappear. And he sits down there. I was like, please, take your seat, if you will. You muted.
I'll let my friends hop off of me before I turn back into Isorel, and I'll definitely go up to my mentor and kind of, show some respect to him before I sit back down.
Oh. Yeah. It's in a strange way to have our reunion, I must apologize for the circumstances.
I wish I had known to come sooner, but I got whisked away in so many things at the same time.
No need to apologize. You were on your own task. You were trying to find the remnant connections of the Dreadless Fey Court. This is an important task. You could not have known that what has happened here and to our shrine would have transpired in such a way. But to be impolite, I see your friends.
Yes.
Who are?
Let me introduce. You. And then I'll turn over to my friends, and I'll say, "This is Master Esifern, who has been my mentor through my studies and me becoming a druid. He is an Eladrin elf, which is a much older lineage of elf. And Esifern, these are my friends. This is Fiera Kron. She's a chronomancer. She originally hails from Canaan and has worked with the Lichnias in the past, and there's a whole thing going on. But she's much more, just like me, she has evolved into something completely different. And
in Sylvan, I'll just say, greetings.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And he also gives like a very polite bow, out of, you say, curtsy.
And here is Eirik Spanner, an artificer, and somewhat started punching back a little bit more lately. He's a master of blueprints and inventions and things like that. He worked very closely on some testing and discoveries with some chrysalises and things like that. And so very different backgrounds all coming together.
But mixed group are quite fitting for the Feywild. Also nice to make your acquaintance, Mr. Spanner.
Also gives you a deep bow.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
I am glad to know that you have found compatriots that you feel safe enough to travel with, that is always a good thing in times of
Yes.
trouble.
We have another companion, but she's busy right now, I guess I could say. It's a little hard to explain.
Ah, many things are, no worries. Some things need not explanation. Well. How about we just start it off with a little tea? You seem a little bit off to where? Yeah, I heard from Azathia that you had some demonic encounters in my shrine. Troubling
Yes.
indeed.
He kind of whistles a bit, and you can see a bird just appear. Looks like a blue jay.
And he says, "Oh, if you wouldn't mind, then go to the lake to the south and grab us some tea over there."
And you hear the bird say, all right. It's away.
That's not what I thought you was gonna
I
sound
don't
like.
I don't even
Deeper.
react. I don't even react. I'm just like, This
Deep
is
voice.
normal.
Yeah, I just have to make sure you didn't encounter anyone when you came out the gate. I presume you took the gate. Since
Yes.
you mentioned the shrine.
Yes.
Any encounter with other elves or Eladrin?
No, we have not seen anyone.
But I saw a face in front of me. I can see invisibility,
Oh no,
and I use that, and the okay.
No, they wouldn't be invisible.
Okay, so
Huh.
good. Okay, great.
They are, you would recognize them. Well, they are more familiar to the shapes you would perceive other individuals. Let's put it
Gotcha,
that way.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then you see a short moment later how like a flock of like 10 of these blue jays come back, and then they're just carrying a pallet with a tea set on it, and just kind of land down and then place it. As they kind of place it down, the pallet itself suddenly grows a stalk that just attaches to the ground and creates this table.
It must be a little bit strange for the two humans here. Though
I'm not too shocked, I guess.
I was
I've
about
seen my own strange things.
Yeah, probably more than I have if you're dealing. What was it? Chronomancy? It's time, right?
That's kind of what I've called it, yes.
Right. Yeah, this might, everything here might seem like a lot or much, but it is, how should we say this? Just a different culture, think of it that way. It has existed for many thousands of years. It is the norm that reigns here. For me, in fact, the material plane is a little bit strange. It's like going inside of a room and then suddenly you find out everyone is mute and can't talk.
Well, I guess, can you explain that further? Because I kind of look toward where the broken moon is. Some things are the same, but some things are different. Have we gone far, or?
Well,
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to understand where we are.
I see, yes. Far, in a sense, but we are still close to the material plane. The Feywild as well as the Shadowfell are the planes that surround Chaldeus, the strongest, the closest. It is less of its own plane more than it is, how should we say it, part of the magical weave. If you ever, I can feel the attunement from all of you. This is where you get your magic from. We are currently on the weave, so to speak. If that makes sense. If not, maybe I can.
Sort of. And then from here, roots are spread out throughout Chaldeus. And the demons are kind of starting to breaking our connection.
Yes, so we are on what you would refer to as a branch. We are on the tree, the world tree right now. If you would go far enough, you would get to the edge. If you look to the sky, as you have done before, you can see the other branches of the tree. This is what the Feywild is. We are on the branches of the tree that created magic in the first place. Follow it long enough and you'll get to, well, the main trunk, the base of it. Though, I must say, unfortunately, it has been destroyed with the moon itself.
Yes.
Oh. Interesting.
So the only things that remain of the Feywild are the branches. And that is why it is so important to nurture them and keep them in balance. Because with the trunk gone, with the main body, all roots and branches now fight for themselves to keep their magic alive.
So the trees that we saw bursting into flame, is that a result of the weakening connections, or is that just a thing that happens?
Oh, no, this is... You might find it strange why everything here is alive, correct? Most people,
Yes.
and it's not just alive, I mean, trees, the material plane are also alive, right? But you can recognize emotions in our trees here. That is because everything here has a soul. There are many people who believe in the afterlife. In a sense, this is the afterlife. When you die, the portion of magic inside of your body returns to the world tree, and you grow here. Though you don't have any memories or stuff like that, the world tree just nurtures the power and causes it to grow again. Each time you use magic, you take it directly from the tree. Meaning, every time you cast a spell, and he kind of just shoots a firebolt up into the air, you have to take it from somewhere, and you can see in a close vicinity one of the trees just combusts. Every spell you use is a tree in the Feywild.
Yeah, we've seen it in action not too long ago.
Yes, I mean,
We were made aware of it.
many spells are being cast all the time. And so for every spell, a tree or a bush dies.
So how does that explain where we entered?
Two things. One is the more natural cycle of the Feywild, which is if more people cast spells, then people die. Obviously, there's a surplus in, well, the combustion, and this has been going on for quite a while. The more grand thing is, have you heard of what's it called again? It's a vision many people have started to talk about. They refer to it with very many different names. I think the Holy Religions called it Faris or something like that.
Ferris, the dying light that needs to be rekindled.
Yes, the rekindling was something the gods used to do when they were still around here. They would used to come from the heavenly planes, and they were used to give some of their power to revitalize the tree, giving it strength. So there was no need to rely on the souls of those who died. This happened every 100 years. That kept the tree alive. But the gods have been gone for several thousand years. And since then, no one has been there to revitalize the tree. The trunk has been destroyed. Each branch is left for itself. And slowly but surely, the people who do not know about this have been casting magic without realizing that the source of power that they're tapping into is now a finite resource. All of that accumulated to the Feywild slowly burning down. This is the story of how it has been for the last couple thousand years, and it's a slow process. But something has been accelerating it, which is why I went back to the Feywild. I've felt a sudden increase in the scorching heat that was spreading through the Feywild. And I had to discover that, unfortunately, like many things, one of the courts that ruled this particular branch has become a little bit obsessed with this fire. They too have gotten the vision of Faris, though they call it differently. They believe that they need to burn the entire tree down for it to regrow again. This is due to the fact because their leader is one who's been blessed by phoenix fire. Do not know how much you know about the legends of phoenixes, but they believe that only when the ashes are there can the phoenix return back to life. And so they now believe that only through the ashes of the world tree can a tree grow again. Which has made them actively burn down the forest, accelerating the already dire situation we are in.
And are the
My
other
connection to fire is much more worrisome.
Well, there are many. I also have a strong attunement to fire, with all elements in fact. It is the faith you put into the power that you use and how you wish to see it. But everyone that wields fire wishes to burn the very source they get their power from.
As soon as he says burn, like Irik's face just kind of like drops for a second, just hearing the word burn over and over again.
and are the other? I guess can you describe the how do the courts work? It's a new place for us.
Where is... Do you want to know how they used to work or how they work now?
Ideally both.
It's not unlike how the mortals rule their worlds. There are appointed leaders that reign over certain portions of the Feywild. It is to keep the Feywild organized. We are intrinsically rather chaotic and tend to have our own lustrous ways of doing things, and so these courts just set up a certain hierarchy by which the Fays abide by. And there are many different courts that were appointed by, the gods back in the day. Lady Crusair being the one who created the Fae. But after the gods disappeared and the connection to the divine was lost, guidance left, and so a vacuum in power took place. The branches were all separated, and so that gave great incentive for all of the courts to try and take control over the branch that they currently rule over. And so the once unison courts would start to fight each other, different beliefs on what to do. Some believe that the souls of the mortals should be sacrificed so we can revitalize the Feywild. Some believe you have to burn down the Firewild so it can regrow. Depending which court you ask, everyone has their own answer.
War and death and separation. So that is actually quite like home. Our home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is the same, and given the circumstance that the Fae are in, most Fae live careless lives. Most Fae, while within the Feywild, are immortal. There is not a worry for us. If you die here, you'll regrow and you'll continue living out your life. This was shattered. You can imagine it. You are on a great journey. A backpack full of food. As long as you have food, you can make this journey. But imagine suddenly this backpack gets taken away from you, destroyed, shattered. And suddenly you are left without food. You see left and right other people. They still have scraps of food. You worry for yourself. And in this chaos, it just fueled the fire of instability, and many of the courts just thought about their own survival. Being afraid that if they don't act now, one of the other courts would take advantage of it and steal their food.
Back where we came from, some of the deities existed, the Dominators, though they recently perished. Are there any left here?
If there would be, I unfortunately wouldn't know. Most of them resided at the center of the Tree of Power. And when it got shattered, well, we believe that they either passed away wisdom or left in some sort of way. It is this vacuum of the ones who led us before that has caused this chaos to take place in the first place. I don't think the courts would act out so harshly if the gods were still here.
True.
I know this is a rather large bit to take in after you stumbled upon the Feywild for the first time. And, well, this is something that Isarel and I have been trying to fix now for as long as I have been mentoring her. I would hope that you can also see why this is so important, not only for the Feywild, but also for your home plane. We implicitly live and are connected together. if one would fall, is detrimental for either side.
Right. I mean, ideally, we'd live in a coexistence. I don't know. We'd all live together in peace, and we'd be nurturing each other, and we'd all be better for it.
Yes. Unfortunately, when you are starving, it is hard to share food. But if we can take away those few that are greedy, maybe the few remaining that are still willing to share can stand up for each other. Like yourselves and ourselves. Not everyone in the Fae is following the ruses.
So does the Lichnius must know that this is where the magic comes from? Are they purposely trying to accelerate
It's
the destruction?
well. Do you remember when they explain that we have magic coming from nature and we have magic coming from the light? And the Lichnius believes that magic coming from the light is superior in their heads to the one coming from nature. It is seen as
Not pure
almost
or whatever.
not pure and chaotic and like bringing something that they don't like it's it's wild. It's a wild magic. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. It's a wild magic. You can't always predict how it's going to react. It's nature has a force in itself that you can't understand fully.
Exactly, that is what our mission, Israel's and mine, was. To try and illuminate the people who believe otherwise. Every spell that is casted, unless you take it from a direct divine source, which I believe at the current moment does not exist on our material plane. They have been vanquished. And so they do not know that their spell casting is tapping away the Feywild. They believe that they are still gaining their power from some sort of angel. There aren't any
But
ranges.
it's misinformation. It's what they're good at. Keep it to the higher ups and just try not to cause a panic. Try not to cause a crisis of faith.
Potentially. There are only a few exceptions of people who can cast magic without it being taken from the Feywild directly, and that is those who have, well, innately divine blood. As they themselves have within their blood the most purest essence of power that also is magic itself. And that is what I mentioned, the leader of the ones who are burning this forest. They are the, they call themselves now the Firescorn Elves. And their leader is one such divine blessed being. He has been blessed by Phoenix Fire, which is innately divine. And so even if the Feywild would be burned down, he would be the only one standing that still has magic to cast, since it's coursing through its veins. It is known as a Empyrean. They used to traverse your lands as well. That's what you call a creature who has been blessed with some divine blood.
Which just gets, for the sake, Empyrean.
Oh,
And fire's gone.
Sounds familiar for some reason. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Their name doesn't begin with an A, does it?
No. Their name
Okay.
is... Their name is Magla. The
Sure.
Empyrean Firemane.
That is a cool name.
That is probably what the Summer Elves or Summer Eladrin also think. That is pretty cool.
Oh boy. Well, I wish we had time to tackle this now to I mean, I can't even imagine what a solution would be. Get them to back down, get them to we don't have proof otherwise. We don't have a better solution.
Well, I have been thinking about somehow trying to stop them. But by myself, I am, well, not for much use. Though it is quite fortunate that you came here. I also have known Magla for a bit. He's one of the courts that ruled the section in this area, and so I have heard about him. Unsurprisingly very hot-headed and egotistical creature. So I believe with Voice of Reason there won't be much success, but if we are able to confront him and maybe, as we used to do it, put them in their place, we could potentially convince them otherwise. His ego is also his biggest weakness. He believes now that he has burned large portions of the Feywilds, that no other Fey is going to stop him. And in that he is correct. No Fey would go out into parts of the forest where their power is sapped. You, however, don't come from the Fey. You might have the might to be able to put him back in his place.
Jeez.
As for time, worry not. Time here works a little bit differently. I mean, Isara spent 100
Yes.
years under my mentorship, and I believe maybe 10 or so years pass in the real world.
At most. Yes.
We are far from where the shadows pull time, so it works differently. That is why many of us here are, in certain ways, immortal, unless tragedy befalls us.
At that mention, can I just like take out my locket and see if it feels different here? If it feels like, any of the dials go anyway.
Yeah, you can see that it is almost not moving at all. Which usually it
Well,
always kind of
good
spins.
luck. I'll be here. I'll watch. Should be a good show.
Ah, don't worry, dear. You are in the light, but there are plenty of things to cast shadow. The Fey realm is a strange place. It is directly connected with parts of the... Well, not directly connected, but responsible for the Shadowfell's
Voilà.
existence.
C'est correct?
Nope. She talks with one of the birds.
Sorry. Sorry. Dad is at the store, so
You're okay.
just making sure he's not breaking an arm or a leg.
Yeah, they do that. Okay. Okay.
Is there a description of this magla? Not that we're just gonna walk and come across them, but
Well, he's a large lion with wings, with a mane made
Oh.
out of fire.
Oh, I was imagining an elf for some
Now-
reason.
I would say that would be weird, but I guess up here, up, down, wherever
Yeah,
the
we
hell.
are technically above. If you get to the edge of one of our branch, you would see your world below it. Yeah. Most Empyreans tend to have non-humanoidish forms. The divine blood tends to change one's appearance quite a bit.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess we can help you if we have the time. It's a good cause, and we need magic pretty badly. I guess I would ask a favor in return.
Of course, I would not simply ask things for free.
So our current mission, we did come here because we were curious, mostly. But also, do you know of a connection to the plane of nature, to Vitalios?
Oh, you would have to find it somewhere on one of the many branches here, though. After the splintering, I myself would not know where one such opening would be. The Fae has been somewhat deliberately been detached from the other realms. It is focused solely on Chaldeus. And since the moon got shattered, all other connections are kind of broken.
Interesting.
I don't know if you felt the shift recently, but my connection to Sylvis was severed completely.
Yes, indeed. Though strangely enough, that is what allowed the gate to the Feywild to be opened again, and I'm still trying to understand why. But that is none of your concern. That is something I have been quizzing about since his departure. The elemental planes are strictly connected to Chaldeus. If they were connected to the... Well, they used to be connected to the World Tree via the moon. But it kind of points towards where you can see the shattered moon. This is no longer the case. By the way, it's also like day now. As you exited the kind of scorched landscape, the sky itself turned back into a more blue purplish hue.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe it's because obviously having a strong magical force that could potentially get into the hands of those you wish to jail was of great concern for the gods. And so also the Fae was strictly forbidden to have any connections with the elemental planes.
So if we wanted to find even just a piece of the plane of nature, we might have better luck back in Chaldeus.
Exactly. Well, Silvers, I would have assumed to have some connection with it. It is the Oster dominator of nature, so I would assume that they had at least some lead. There are some shrines here, one which I do wish to visit with you, since Israel has now uncovered that your true nature has been coming from Silvers. And maybe there can be some hints as to where you might potentially find this connection to the elemental plane of nature. One of the courts that ruled here was worshipping Silvers. It was created by Silvers. He had a strong connection with the Fae. He was the one who protected it on your continent.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Interesting. Okay.
There's something I'd like to show you. Something I was able to acquire that might help us. And I'll move around in my pouches, and I'll take out the small piece of cloth that I had wrapped the seed to the tree of power in, and I'm going to show it to Esifern. And I'll say, we found a tribe that answers to the court, a tribe of dragonborns, and they gave me the seed, one of the seeds, to the tree of power.
That is great. That is truly great. Incredible that you've found one of those. I believed all of them have been planted.
Yeah. And he kind of also like squints at you, and then he realizes that you have also the Eye of Silvers attuned to you.
Yes.
And you can see that he kind of has like a short smile while during this entire conversation. Once again, he still looks a little bit disheveled, a little bit stressed, but the first time he has a kind of like, when you get the first time in a long time a sense of hope.
Very well. We must visit the shrine then. I believe if we manage to plant it here, we can create another root that will grow to connect two Chaldeas.
Yes.
But then, can we keep it safe? Because the one how we got here, it was being assailed, and right now the world's kind of a mess.
That is also true. I know a couple of other Eladrin that belong to a different court here, who share the same values as the Triadalis. They too wish to keep the forest alive. Giving them this seed will give them more purpose. I do not know how it will fare in your world. That is something out of my control, but we can at least start to plant it to hope for a better future at least. Both connections have, until now, already died. My own shrine seems to have been assailed now, so it might be time to create a new one. But I am a bit worried. The fire-scorn people are obviously seeking out these connections and deliberately destroying the shrines, as they have done with mine. They wish to keep anyone away from their power. They wish not people to resist. Which is why it's important that we have to do something against Magla, otherwise it doesn't matter which shrine we visit.
Right.
They will burn it down.
Do we have to
Yeah,
just go find Magla, or do we summon them?
Oh no, they are rather easy to find. They're in the center of the burn landscape.
Oh,
Oh,
There, he.
yeah, that makes sense.
Here.
I guess since time's not, I'll take out the key. Now we got this because we planned to stop a devil invasion, but on the off chance it can help us with this because fire. Do we want to use this key now or afterward? We believe there's an artifact in here.
That is. I do not know of this artifact, so it is hard for me to tell. But I would like to visit the shrine with Israel beforehand, because if it is aid that you seek, I believe this shrine can give us the aid we can get.
Oh, okay, that's perfect. I'll put the magic key back in there. Nap first. Nap?
Nap. Yes, while you're taking a nap, I will take a look in the surroundings. Once again, the fire elves have been making their moves, searching for more shrines within the wild, so I'm a little bit concerned, but while time is of no concern outside of the Feywilds, it still passes the same for everyone inside of the Feywild.
Right. Yeah. I guess fortunate or not, we kind of went a little crazy against the demons. I probably didn't have to use my most powerful resources, but we won.
Yeah.
So
That is why you are here, I would assume.
yes.
Right. Very well. If it is rest you need, please do so. I shouldn't. Look, I just worry about the nature of the shrine. If we would lose another one, we might lose a potential ally again.
They will need a full sleep, but if you give me a few hours, I'll be by your side, and I can help you.
Very well.
haven't we only been awake for like an hour?
Yeah, but it's also like 2 a.m.
Yeah, true. Well, I assume after the first thing you didn't really sleep, you were just kind of tending your wounds more than actually doing sleep, or maybe taking a little nap in that. But yeah, you did just take a long rest a couple of hours ago.
Like, this is Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, just long rest.
I want my 7th level.
Yeah, he kind of then just says,
If you need anything in terms of food, you can ask Bonnie. He's the small bird I just called. If you just call out his name, he can fetch you water or berries or fruits. Right.
Okay. I guess if we're trading, this is Glamour. He can accompany you. He's a very good scout. He loves to go on missions.
I hate you. I hate you, woman. I hate you. She's a liar, a deceiver. She says the devil invasion is coming is because she's returning to our plane. That's the true devil here. Yes. It's like,
That is a particular familiar you have there. It's unlike any I have in
He
common.
is particular.
I'm still here. I'm a cat.
Oh, did you know, Glamour? If we would have let you die, you would have been a rock or a bush. But I brought you back as a ocelot, so you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Who gets killed periodically. I could have also been in hell getting tortured for the rest of eternity. That would probably be the same.
Wow.
I'm on to you, Fiera. Bright red hair. Looks awfully similar to the landscape of hell. Yes. Yes, he kind of like slowly slides away.
And
And then you see as a friend like,
Well, it's always good to have a good connection with your familiar. Though, I believe for now you can keep him. I believe he
okay.
cannot fly.
And I could give him wings.
no. Yes,
Mage
yes,
hand
yes.
is just gonna pick him up.
Aye. Aye.
Says, it's no worries. I think I'll be fine for now by myself. I am not planning to engage. I'm just wanting to look at the movement of the latest troop of Firescorn elves that have been going through the lands here.
Oh, well, I can still help. Cast spell really. No, I can't do that right now. I'll help later.
Very well. Preserve your powers and rest. You might need them.
And then he just kind of turns into a small eagle and just kind of goes up into the sky and disappears. And you're surrounded by 10 blue birds. You're sitting around the table with a tea set of freshly poured tea, which the birds themselves are currently drinking.
What the hell?
Okay. I guess we'll find a comfortable spot, and I don't want to ask them for food. That kind of seems rude, if I'm to be honest. They seem perfectly sentient.
I feel like asking, even the food is probably alive here, right? Like,
Oh my, Azrael, are berries alive?
I mean, the same way a flower is alive.
I talked to a flower.
like, pick up a berry. Is it gonna go like, no, don't eat me?
It's
Like, I have a family.
see it more as a chicken hatching eggs, and then you eat the eggs, right?
Oh, that doesn't make it better. Jesus. I never want to eat again. You know, water's fine. Is water alive?
The same
If
way
we go to a
air or
stream
light
or a
is.
pond, is it going to talk back? Is it like a child of the
I
ocean?
mean, maybe a fish is going to play a prank on you, but
Oh my gosh. I take out the food I brought with us. I don't know. Shit.
Oh, you know what? Here, I dig through the hole and pop out with the alchemy jug and go, okay, do we want water, beer, wine, mayo?
You see one of the birds, you see Bonnie go up and say, "You said mayo?"
No.
Don't mind if I do.
Show him what mayo is.
Sounds
Oh,
like knows what it is.
I know what
the
mayo
very
is.
first time we use the alchemy jug is for mayo.
Or bird. The docked.
Do you give it mayo?
Yeah, yes.
So reluctant to give this blue jay mayo, and he just fucking.
I don't want to anger the birds.
She just jumps into the mayo, just starts slurping it up.
Oh, you gave. What did you give the goblins? Was that
Mayo.
honey? It was mayo.
No,
okay.
it was mayo.
Okay.
I've only used this for mayo. None of the other things in it have been used yet.
I think you picked mayo for the goblins because it was like the highest calorie.
I think it was because it was the closest thing to like good like sustenance, like
Pure mayo.
wine, water, vinegar, oil, honey, beer, poison, or acid. The mayo was the best to feed them with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Oh boy, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna rest and prepare to fight a flying lion that's on fire.
Jesus.
Because I have a spell for that, I'm sure.
So we've encountered goblins eating mayo and birds eating mayo. Nice.
It's the universal language, mayo.
Jeez.
Okay, so they have divine bloods? Don't use divine? I don't know.
Alright, well.
I guess
Guess we're just-
do all elves cast spells if they're here? But is everybody like a spell weaver?
I mean, you would have to believe in it. You would have to trust in it. You would have it's a little more complicated than just like, oh, I'm in the Feywild, all of a sudden I can cast spells. Whoo. You
Well, I
still have
assume
to
if-
nurture that.
If they're immortal,
Thing.
they'd have to have time to learn how to cast a cantrip.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, let's rest and try to think of a plan for our lion guy.
What are we supposed to plan? We don't know what the terrain looks like. We don't know what he does. We don't know if he's got henchmen. We don't like. We went from an hour ago being the most planned possible.
Well, we can still scout, just give me a few hours first.
We can still be prepared. We can still plan things. We just first we need to get our brains straight.
Mhm. Okay. Then yeah, I guess we rest.
Alrighty. Then
I'll do my 4 little hours and
yes.
see if
And anything in particular anyone would like to do during this rest? Otherwise, we'll just go through it as usual.
Shouldn't.
Eric's still overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah, let's keep the overwhelming to the level it's at. I'm good.
Then for your rests, every one of you can roll 1d100.
Oh,
Each of us?
Yes.
Oh boy. Oh, it worked. 21.
Alrighty.
Oh god. I'm so scared.
Should be. We're in the Fae. We're in Jack's fan, to be specific.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
So after 4 hours, you get complete your rest. Isoel, you feel very much attuned and to your natural surroundings. And as you kind of stand up, you for a brief moment see like a flicker leave your wrist, almost like a glowing embery light that kind of just flies towards one of the trees in the vicinity, after which the tree just combusts and explodes into flame. After that, the open space of the burnt tree gets kind of closed in again by other trees to kind of close the circle again. And for a brief moment, you're like, okay, why did that happen? But you also know that magic can be rather strange in the Feywild, and your control over it is a little bit, well, sensitive at the moment. And so uncontrolled magic can just leave your fingertips if you don't concentrate all the time. But you complete your rest without much. Don't worry, he's not in the in the camera.
Give me one quick moment, please.
Yeah. While for the other two, Fiera and Eirik, Fiera, as you are taking your rest, Eirik, you look at Fiera and there's something a little bit odd about her. It's like extremely minor. You almost don't notice it. But as you kind of blink your eyes a little bit, you're like, wait, hold on. Like, you know that Fiera's very vibrant hair.
Not my hair, Jack.
But now all of a sudden it's like this sakura pink. And it just shifted its hue so slowly that you didn't even realize that her hair color changed. And now she has like this typical anime pink hair that it's flowing from her. And you kind of look strangely. Maybe you get a little bit closer while as Eirik is inspecting you with a strange look. You look at Eirik and you kind of just look at the spot he was sitting and you just see a bunch of flowers and mushrooms have grown over the space of time that you were resting here.
Well, that'd be a comfortable bed, to be fair. Okay. Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, glad we all slept well. Yep.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, this is so just out of
Full of magic. I mean, to be fair, let's imagine that in some future the gods come back, the tree is fixed, and magic is once again just flowing into our world. It will be a different world because we'll have an abundance of magic. It won't even be the one that we knew.
Yep.
If anything, this is a glimpse into a potential future where mushrooms grow when you take a nap.
And your hair turns pink.
What? I'm sorry? I kind of look at it and...
But her white strands are now gone. Was that all turned pink?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, now she likes it.
As a side note, that's a permanent effect.
No. No. Okay, we have to figure out how to dye hair. Pink. Pink.
It's specifically bright pink, like almost a neon pink.
Let me look at my art here. Just
Main
try to
character.
imagine-
I'm kind of
Pink.
into it, frankly.
I guess pink and black does go really well together.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can make a K-pop band and become super famous.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we have to leave. Just-
We just got here, and all of a sudden, Fiera's like,
No,
"All right,
let's
time
leave.
to go, time to go."
Okay. I don't know what to prepare. I'm just gonna call it good. I have no idea. I got rid of my divine stuff, so
All right. You would see and notice at some point as the fun returns back as an eagle and then kind of lands and tumbles and rolls back into his normal form.
Hope you're all able to rest well from the color of your hair. I presume that is a yes.
right is. No, I already know the answer. Never mind. Did you find anything, or do you need to rest?
No, I'm quite okay. And we are in luck. It's one of the other court elves managed to mislead the fire court elves, so we are in no rush or trouble at the moment.
Okay. Still, we should get going. Yeah, let's head to the shrine.
Yes.
Right. Very well. It's not awfully far from here, so I recommend we just walk there to conserve our energy in case we do need it.
And he just kind of steps out and moves along, following the steed. As Eirik walks, you see every footstep he leaves behind
No.
moss and flowers and and mushrooms just grow,
God.
and he just leaves this trail behind.
Okay, so we can't ever be stealthy again.
Well, if you can fly,
If you're a forest.
it seems like it's only. Yeah. The most stranger part is that as these mushrooms kind of grow up, they seem to also just kind of move and disperse a little bit, since they're also alive.
Oh, are those your children?
Don't. No. Why?
Yeah, and with that, you follow Azathia. You walk maybe for like max an hour, and you also notice that the daylight or the sky itself never really changes color or hue, and the sun always seems to be on the same spot it is. Which, in fact, you don't see the sun itself from where you are at the moment. Either it's obscured by one of the many branches above you, or there's some strange magical luminous thing going on here that, just doesn't show the sun. Either or, you make your way there, and as you walk, go through all the strange things that you are slowly but surely getting somewhat accustomed to. Like if you brush against a tree and the tree kind of moves out of the way, or a bush kind of just makes or blocks the path, and you just have to wait for the bush to pass by you. The first 5-6 times it's strange, but after that it kind of becomes so common, it's not surprising anymore. And so what was obviously very, very strange at the beginning familiarizes itself bit by bit by bit, though obviously seeing so much in such a short time, a tiny little bit disturbing. And you would, after this hour, get to what seems to be like a small lake that is within this glade. And you can see it's once again surrounded by these luscious trees that in the immediate vicinity of this lake also produce small sparkles and light that just kind of trickle down the leaves that are kind of slowly swaying in the wind. The lake itself is this very bright cerulean blue, and though it's obviously a lake, so there shouldn't be any waves, there's some motion inside of the water that is causing it to kind of just ripple and create small waves here. And the light itself seems to be like illuminated from the bottom up, or it in itself is fluorescent. You aren't quite sure, but the light of the lake or the water of the lake seems unnaturally bright as you get there. You also see an abundance of just life around it, and during your travels here you would see a vast assortment of different creatures, from weird birds with faces that you would normally accustom to maybe a rat or a squirrel. Sometimes you see a fox with 6 legs. Sometimes you see a rat with 6 tails. There's really a mixture of different kind of animorphs of how maybe some legends would have described a mythical creature, but they seem to be here commonplace. In fact, you see less normal creatures. It is rare to see just a bird being a bird and not having 4 wings or 5 talons or 3 heads. And that also just kind of adds to yourself just getting used to the weird sense, since almost everything you see here is new. But if everything is new, everything is also kind of the same, right? At some point, the oddities just add up and stack and kind of cancel each other out. And that's what you're feeling as you get towards this lake. Within the lake itself, with this bright glowing blue hue, you can see a bowl. A large bowl that is made out of stone. It has a very deep, well, not too deep, but a bright purple, almost violet color to it. Seems to be made out of, what's it called again? Marmor? That's the German word. Granite. Yes. It's a little bit rough on the edges, but has these very beautiful purple patterns all around it. And in the center of it, you can see a small bud sapling that is just kind of reaching out a little bit, with a long stalk, and on the end of it is just a kind of open flower. And across the entire bowl itself, Fiera and I recognize very good, or quite easily identify a lot of sylvan runes around it. And in the immediate vicinity as well, you can see a lot of, surprisingly to you, draconic statues that look extremely similar to the ones you saw in the ruins that you went to with Rashina. Almost similar make, almost identical. Not as in identical to that it's the same statues, but identical in the sense that they seem to be depicting the same thing. These dragons that seem to be made out of roots and vines that have leaves growing from their body, but many of them as well seem to also be in a bit of a state of erosion. It seems like even natural elements here can erode over time as well in the Feywild, if not taken care of. Yeah, and that's kind of where Ezephon brings you, and he says,
Alright. Here we are. This used to be one of many shrines that were dedicated to.
wait, my audio is fucking going crazy. What's going on? Hold up. All right. Nope, it's still going crazy.
Oh.
Ooh. Is it doing it for you? Is it cutting out?
Nope.
Okay, then it's just for me.
There's been like one or two little pauses in your audio, but nothing.
Then I believe. Okay, yeah, no, it stopped. All right, nice. Yeah, Azathia says,
This is one of the shrines that was built by the courts that.
"Oh, it's happening again. I think something might be my PC slowly starting to bite the dust.
The Feywild.
Yeah, the Feywild is also too much for my PC. Okay, I think this
That
should
makes
fix it.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, he says,
Yes, as I was saying, some of the fake creatures tend to annoy one.
as a fly is like buzzing in his face, which is why he gets distracted. Um,
Mhm.
A shrine dedicated to one of the arch-dragons that served Silvus. Mirvorax was his name.
Yes.
Oh, we've heard that before.
Very, very familiar. Very, 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 very familiar.
Hey, all right, nice roll.
Is that the
It's-
name of the
Yes.
dragon that you?
It is. Yes, it's my dragon. Yes.
Okay.
This was.
I can call onto his spirit
And
when we need to.
Yes, this was a old shrine that was built by the Silvaris court when they were still here. But after the angelic war, they retreated back to the material plane to help with the war effort. And so since then, the shrine has been somewhat left in disarray, and I believe this might be a great place where we could either place the seed and also pay your respects. We in the Fae believe that power stored in holy places remain there for as long as the belief still exists.
and he kind of goes over to one of the not shrines, but there are many also stones around here. One that just has also like kind of sylvan draconic runes carved onto it. And he just kind of starts a little prayer there. He kind of just closes his hand and then just pays his respect, basically like when you would go to a temple.
I'll go next to him, kneel down, and get myself into a praying position as well. And before I start to pray, I'll take the seed out and keep it in between my hands as I start also praying down and paying my respects.
Yeah. You go there and stand in front of it. You would also see that, on the stone itself, it says, "May his soul ever blossom, may his heart never wilt, prosper to those who give." And what is it that you pray, Isabel? What is the specific thing you are maybe thinking about or praying towards?
I will start by thanking Mirverax for all of the help that they've gave us every single time that I've called onto their spirit. Thanking them for the strength that they've given us, and then I will go on and ask for whatever forces that are still around here to protect this seed as it grows and to help it become a new root and a new anchor into our lives that we will need to rely on and that we are happy to help grow and become stronger.
Yeah. You do that, you can feel the very strong connection to Mirvorak specifically that you always attune to when you summon his spirit. As you close your eyes, you feel a very warm breeze coming up from the lake itself. It's comforting. You feel at ease, you feel at peace. Almost like when you meditate, you get this wash of just comfort that comes over you. And as you can feel your prayers heard, you open your eyes to see that you are now within a glade once again, but this time expansive. Still, the lake is here, but the trees seem much taller than before. You can see the lake itself with this brilliant water that is sparkling there, and coming out of the lake itself are these big rock formations, having these very smoothed edge corners, on the top of which you can see is the bowl itself. On the sides you can see a lot of draconic statues just standing there. And standing on the very top above the bowl itself, you can see Mirvorax just standing on top, kind of almost regally bathing in the light that is coming down. As you look around, you don't see your friends. You have a similar experience to when you communed with the trees that belonged to Servalon. You're muted.
Am I still kneeling down or am I standing up?
Whatever you would like to be. You kind of just opened your eyes.
Okay. Okay. Then I would still be, in my praying position and seeing the presence of Mirvorax in front of me. I would bow my head deep and in Draconic say, "It is an honor to have the chance to speak with you."
You can see he kind of looks his head down, doesn't really have any eyes, just this mixture of bark and moss and nature that forms this vague dragon-like head that kind of looks down towards you, and you hear his voice as he now speaks towards you, as he also responds in Draconic.
Thanks goes out from me, child, for keeping my spirit alive, for spreading nature. It is I who must be thankful.
I have a favor to ask, and I feel terrible for asking you. But I feel like you are the best place to help me with this. I have with me a seed to the tree of power, a hope for the future. And I would like to plant it at your shrine so that you can protect it.
He kind of looks down once more, and also kind of bows his head, and then kind of erects it up tall and proudly as a dragon would, as he responds.
That is not something you must ask. It is in both our interests to have this seed prosper and grow. But my spirit is long gone, and my power weak and lost. It now remains within your hands, within your memory, Iserel Leafina. Plant this seed within this kiln. Use your own power to nurture it. And we must pray that through your guidance, that those that surround my final shrine on this broken plane shall help you in your cause. For you, Israel, you shall embody my spirit going on from this time onwards.
I will keep your spirit alive, that is for sure. I will keep working on what I've been working on. Being here today just invigorates me and reminds me why I started my journey. And I am more ready than ever to help in any way I can.
That I see. You have grown much since the first time we made contact. And it makes me smile to see how much more growth is to be done. Step forward.
As he kind of, you see one of his wings kind of just furl out. And you can just see this cerulean lake in front of you.
I'll get up and walk forward.
Alright, do you step into the lake?
Yes. I think I get to the lake, I think about Eirik, and I'm like, Eirik would tell me to get out of here. And then I think of Fiera, and Fiera would tell me to jump head first. So I'll go one toe at a time.
Yeah. Your experiences with past lakes have been a little bit negative. But with your first step inside, it's the complete opposite. You feel like, you know, when you're in like a hot tub and or at like a spa, and if you get, you know, undressed in the changing room, it's like super cold when the first time you get out, and the first step you take into the warm water is just such a nice feeling as you're escaping the cold. That's the same feeling you're getting. Or when you're traveling in a winter's day and you step within the warm comforts of a home, just something welcoming, embracing you and taking you in, accepting you for who you are, what you've done, and what you want to become. Almost feels a little bit parental in a sense as you go inside of here, and as this water's washing over you, you get shin deep, then knee deep, then hip deep, then neck deep, before you're completely submerged underwater as you're walking towards the stone where Mirvorax is up. And as your vision fades within the water itself, becoming blurry, you blink off a couple of times, and as you blink, you suddenly see a different perspective. You stand atop of the stone all of a sudden. You see the edge of the lake where you were standing before. You see the lake now surrounding you in an emanation. The vast glade around you. And as you look down, you see the claws and arms and wings, shoulders and body of Mirvorax from his own eyes. As you realize, they are not his eyes anymore, they are your eyes. And as a feat, you can add Soul-Bound Draconic Attunement.
What?
As you can now, as a wild shape, instead turn into
No.
Mirvorax.
No. Oh my god, that's
Nice.
so cool. What?
Yay. You said,
Eirik, that could have been you.
I'm fine, thanks.
you said it's called the...
Yeah, soul-bound draconic attunement. You will have to probably scroll all the way to the bottom where the homebrew feats are.
Cool.
Soulbound Draconic Attunement. Added. Once per long rest, when you wild shape, you may turn yourself into the spirit of the dragon instead. You gain the stats of the summoned draconic spell as if it were cast at level 7. After you use this, you cannot do so until you finish a long rest.
Cool.
Yeah, and that is the basically also kind of like the old wild shape rule. So you do take on the stats
Yeah.
and HP of that, and only when
Yeah.
that gets dropped, you revert back to your normal form.
Nice.
And with that,
Cool.
as you blink around, what do you do as you are embodying the body of Mivarax?
I would first kind of shake my wings to see how it feels to have, like, wings.
Yeah, you shake them, you hear the rustling, you can feel the vines, every fiber of your body. It feels a little bit strange at first. You have to get used to it, having, 2 more limbs on your body.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I would also kind of whip my tail around a little bit and try to get used to that as well. That is on the back.
Yep.
And then once I feel, I kind of look around and then I would just whoosh, whoosh, and get up in the air and kind of soar around
Yeah.
there.
You soar as mighty as a dragon around this glade, and it feels freeing, as if shackles that you didn't even know were there were kind of torn off as you embody the spirit that you found a while ago that has now been attuned to your very own soul. And after like maybe 10 minutes or so of you just experiencing this freedom and just flying around, slowly but surely you can see your vision itself dims bit by bit, and you return back as you open your eyes, as you're still in prayer, seeing the stone in front of you. May his soul ever blossom, may his heart never wilt, prosper to those who give. For the other two, however, Fiera and Eirik, you didn't see much. You just see her kind of pray, clasping the seed in her hand. But you would see that suddenly the kind of bud inside of the bowl kind of closes for a brief moment. After which you see a bit of light emanating from the hands of Isorel as it glows with this warm green energy. After which a similar glow comes out of the kind of closed leaves of this bud, and they kind of unfurl and open up again, and inside you can see this glowing blue. At first you would think it's a gem, but it's the very seed that Isorel was clasping there. And just giving off this very more coldish hued light. And that's when you wake up, Isorel, seeing that the seed has left your hands, but instead you can see it now within the bowl, Mivarax.
Wow.
Looks like it went well for you.
More than I could ever imagine.
Sure, it was very.
Yeah, the trash bag was very, very full. It was very interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience. I was able to speak to Mivarax again.
Okay.
So Eirik has his fire form. I don't know how to call it. Your fire thing.
Yep.
Fiera, you can activate your angel wings
Mhm.
and basically become a celestial. Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
I can now turn into Mirvarax once a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that is amazing.
He kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. Yes.
We have grown.
And he kind of just takes a step back as he's getting some good news after like being stuck here and seeing his own force getting burned all the time. You can see a small tear leave his eye, especially a mentor seeing his student excel to such a degree, and just kind of looks to the seed that has now been planted there.
Whatever happens, I will stay here to tend to this seed and make sure it prospers and grows.
So
Okay.
this seed being alive and growing is the only way you're going to continue to have that ability?
I am unsure.
Yeah, it's faith, right?
Yes.
I think as long as Israel has faith, then
As long as I keep believing in what I do, I think I'll be fine. Just in the way that even if you were scared, you kept, believing into Tovar, and even if it was scary, listening to his recommendations and things. You trusted him to some degree. So I have to trust that Mirvarax is going to help me. The same way a lot of mortals down in Chaldeus trust that we can help.
Yeah.
Feels weird saying mortals when we also are very mortal.
um,
Well, I guess. What would you prefer to do from now on? You have your key, I believe you said something, or do you wish to
right.
confront Maglar before this?
The question is whether or not it would help us for that. I would believe that I should get their name. Inventory, party inventory. That Astaniel, I think it is.
Mhm.
They seem like the type where their artifact would be very good against devils. From what we know about devils is, well, they lie, they cheat, they steal, they take. Subterfuge, illusion, but also fire. So there's a small chance that whatever the artifact is could help us against fire. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm also just ready for fight now. I have all my resources. Israel can apparently turn into a dragon. So I have some confidence that will be okay.
Right. I have no idea about this Estaniel figure or its artifacts, so I don't think I can give much of an opinion here. So this is entirely up to you. If you think there is the slight chance that it might be able to help, I mean, confronting.
So far, everything that we've had to fight fire has been Irix fire that seems to be a little bit more powerful than regular fire.
Yeah, that might be different when fighting against an Empyrean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm not going to be very effective.
Well,
Is there any?
I guess I'm fine either way.
Is there any? Well, we can just also say the downsides. Is there any downsides to going into or using this gear?
We don't know what the trial is. We don't know if we're going to have to fight. We don't. Well, if we somehow fail, we do have to wait a while before trying again. But I'd like to just assume we're going to succeed and knock it out of the park. So we might just have to rest for another day.
But if we do succeed and we release the artifact, we're now using an artifact that we've had no time in, understanding or, playing with or
We
whatever.
don't know what it does.
Yeah. You're going to walk into a fight against a thing that we don't know anything about and use a thing that we don't know anything about.
Well, we're also just not fighting devils, but what they're doing seems to be just as terrible.
I mean, it wouldn't be our first blind fight without knowing what the parameters are.
No.
Seems
But-
to be our motto, so.
Coming out of a trial like we think is going to happen with something that we don't know anything about is just...
There's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm fine if right now we deal with Magla and then we figure out what our next step is after that, which would probably be... Well, wait, Shrine. This is Shrine to Silvis?
Yes. Well, we're Wilhax, but in some sense also Silvers.
Well, okay. We should first try to see if we can find any hints toward a connection to Vitalios. If there's anything here, if there's any script, if there's any... yeah, anything. I could also try to contact them myself.
You want to contact Silvis?
Vitalios.
Mm.
Silvis.
Oh, yeah,
I
Silvis
don't know where
is...
they are. If they even
Silvis
exist
is-
anymore.
Silvis... Blah, blah, blah. Silvis cannot be contacted anymore.
Mhm. I guess, does this branch we're on have a specific name, or is it just a branch of the tree?
You mean the branch we are on right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they belong to the tree. Not every branch has its own name, unfortunately, no. But I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Magda is gonna give it a name pretty soon.
Ah, that would be horrifying. The burnt limb, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me 60 seconds to think here.
As Kiara's like rubbing her temples. We'll give her a little bit more time as we take our small break. 'Cause I have to pee
Perfect.
real bad. So see you guys in a quick sec. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we're back. The land of the strange. So, you stand here at the lake of a shrine of Mirrors. What do you do, Fieras? You had your 60 seconds of think time.
Yeah, I'm slightly worried about that. So you guys see me going through like my work notebook essentially. Okay, so I've talked to Dominators. They're kind of lowest on the Pantheon. I've connected with Tiamat on a personal level. I've talked to Bel, a Dralic god. So the elementals are even a step further above. But I think I'm willing to give it a shot. Because I'm wondering if Vitalios can help us get to them. Maybe they know of a connection here.
That would
Might as well
be
ask.
yeah, that would be a good
So
idea.
outside of my realm of knowledge, like whatever you think is gonna work.
I'll kind of, put my head towards my mentor and be like, when Eirik met us, he didn't really believe in anything, and then he got stuck with the crazy nature lady and the crazy angel lady, and now he's trying to fit somewhere in there.
That is strange to hear in a world filled of demons, but I guess some people have different niches. Welcome to the real world, Eirik.
Yeah. Thanks.
Speaking of angels, I got my Castiel
Wow.
mug
Oh,
right there.
all right. I dig it.
Yep. I also got a Crowley one for my demons, devils. So
Gotta have the good and the bad.
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go to the spot where Israel was meditating, essentially hoping it will help me in some way, shape, or form, and get in my comfy, comfy place. I don't know. Because I don't know what they are. My guess is they're a dragon. I will cast tongues on myself. But I don't have Intellect Fortress prepared, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I will prepare Contact Other Plane with the intent to try to get to the plane of nature to talk to Vitalios.
All right.
Yep, and I will make that save, maybe, if it lets me. Wow. Okay.
Damn.
That is like the fourth time that has happened. So as things start wildly going the wrong way, I will try to bend time a bit in this place where I guess my magic probably feels different, which is probably what's happening. And I will chronal shift to try again. It's because I don't want to go insane today.
That's crazy.
That's still pretty low. I barely passed.
Wow.
Barely passed.
What's the DC again? 16?
I think it's 15.
Okay. Wow.
It's wild I even can fail that, but
Yeah, only with a 2 or a 1.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I can do it.
A 10th.
So, you can see Fiera struggle.
Yeah, she's kind of frowning her brows, and you're trying to connect to a different thing, and you do feel that, yeah, magic here is wild. While it's, like swimming in a nice lake when you're in the material plane, this is just a fucking white water rafting lake that you're just getting thrown into, and you just get fucking swept away. You kind of hold on to the reins just by using some of your shadowmancy to kind of dim the strong nature of the magic here, to try and focus it to do the things you want it to, as magic is kind of whipping around, trying to do its own thing spontaneously. However, you still manage to grip the power to force it into what you want it to do, and as you do so, you manage to seemingly establish a connection. You can feel that the spell has worked in a certain sense, but it feels very different from when you usually do it with the other things, because it is not a consciousness as how you would imagine a consciousness to normally be is what you connect to. It's more like you were expecting to drink a cup of water, but you accidentally swallow the ocean. It is something that is kind of beyond your own understanding. As you connect to something, you aren't quite sure if it is a living being or if you've connected to nature itself or the moon itself or whatever it is. It's just a strange thing, as this tether is being kept alive, but ever so thickly, like a small thread that is in a, attached to a balloon that is the size of the moon, that's kind of lifting you off, and the slightest disturbance could break this tether immediately, and it would just float away without you, as you're just kind of barely holding on to this presence. I would refrain from calling it a consciousness even.
Huh. So this is what's bigger. Are you Vitalios?
As you ask out this question, you feel a lack of influence that this question has over this presence. Almost as if you're trying to reach something across the ocean, and the only signal you give is dipping your finger into the water and hope that the ripples of that action would convey anything. It's like something that is the size of a planet, and you're tapping it with your finger to try and wake it up.
So essentially there is no direct response. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's your connection is there, but your influence over it, your means to be able to communicate, is still a little bit abridged. You have to somehow create a stronger force.
Create a stronger force. The mind isn't enough. I guess I haven't tried this before. While I'm in my state, am I able to project my annihilation field?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I'm gonna try to release that out and press it against this. I don't want to merge with it. Well, oh boy, yeah, I guess we'll see. But I want to knock.
Yeah. Alright, make a straight intelligence check.
Against the moon.
Well, that was a metaphor, but yes, to a certain degree. Maybe.
Whoa!
Wow,
23.
23. Alright, is there anything you're conveying in it, or do you just want your presence to be aware?
I want them to know I'm here. I'm knocking at the front door. Hello, this is me. I'm here. I want your attention.
Yes. You are an ant knocking at the door the size of humans. However, somehow, through some means, you shout loud enough that you can feel a shift within the presence itself. You have literally no understanding what that means, if that was due to yourself, but you think something has changed since the time you have casted the spell.
Okay, I'll see what happens fast. Another question. Where has Sylvis's soul gone?
Soul?
Soul. S-O-U-L.
Alright. Make a...
Jeez.
Yeah, just make another intelligence save.
Save?
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't I cast a spell? Ooh. Okay, I'm warming up.
Yeah. The nature of standing in front of something that is so incredibly big, sometimes you lose sight of what it can do to you if it does attempt to answer. It's like if you were a human trying to shake the hand of an ant, how would you go about doing it without squishing the ants? And that's why, as you feel what seems to be a response, this enormous force just comes melting down, kind of wrapping around the annihilation field. Not in an intent to hurt you, you feel no malicious intent. It's just the nature of the difference in size that is making it difficult for them to even notice and or communicate to you. And you don't hear any words, you don't hear any language, though the essence of what is communicating right now is very deeply primordial. As the answer shifts in different ways, as if you're like a boat in a stormy ocean, kind of conveying the notion of that they don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Since I don't feel overwhelmed and I finally have their attention, could you guide me from a branch of the Feywild to your plane?
You feel once again this sensation of the pressure all around you, if you're being squeezed from all sides, starting to get a migraine, but you're managing to keep you cool under this pressure. This is just a projection, this is not real, but the force itself still feels so vivid. And you get a very clear answer as the ocean's calm, and everything sinks down almost as if the hands stop grabbing you, as the answer that gets conveyed is that there is none.
Interesting. Should I stop Megla, the Empyrean, from burning the Fae?
Make another intelligence save.
Oh, God.
You got this. You got this. You got this.
Do I? I'm talking to a god. Of all the gods we've come across, I haven't found the biggest so far.
This is what you've been working for.
Yeah, that's a plus 12, baby.
That's true. That's true. Which is why I don't think that's enough.
Wow! Damn!
But like we said, Fira's been working toward it. She has training. I will use Guarded Mind. Once per short rest, I can choose to succeed on a charisma or a intelligence, wisdom, or charisma save. So as I feel overwhelmed, just through my mental training, I start doing the roadblocks to build it up.
Yes, indeed. And as you do so, you suddenly feel, as you're standing at the beach, and it's stormy once again, there are rocks all around you. This is just to visualize how this feels like. And there are just waves, big waves of an ocean kind of hitting against you, and you're having to brace against it. And that's just the calm way that an ocean is able to communicate with something that is so much smaller than itself. And you can you felt it pull back to try and calm this ease. And then all of a sudden you see it turns back the similar way how its tsunami usually tends to take water from the beaches to create the wave that would destroy cities, as you see a big wave approaching you. And at this moment you notice there's no way for this being to communicate any sort of complicated thoughts, because that would crush you. And you have the option to try and take this onslaught of what this tsunami is, or you can break the connection to try and save yourself.
Oh, I'm staying. That's not even a question.
Oh my god!
I'm digging in, Jack.
Yeah.
This is Fira. She can do anything.
You grab on to some of the rocks of your surrounding areas, of your mental state, as you just see this big wave slowly but surely approaching you with a strong velocity. And as it...
My pink hair is flying.
yeah, your vibrant, bright pink hair is indeed flying as it comes crashing down towards you. Now, you take only half of that of psychic damage, as just the onslaught crushes you mentally a bit. However, the meaning of what it's trying to convey does get translated through it. And what it basically is telling you is that it doesn't know nor care who Magla is, but whoever has malicious intent against the Fey Forest must be destroyed. And then it kind of, the tsunami washes over you. You feel yourself being wet, but brace. You weren't pulled away. You managed to succeed to hold onto the rock, and you aren't in the middle of an ocean being swept away as you kind of brace your mind again. And I believe that is also where the spell ends.
Hang on. I asked, well, didn't answer that one. I'll still count it. Levels your soul. Guide. This is 4. So technically I have one more.
Oh yeah. Then you brace the storm, so...
Can I come visit you?
You see now that the water that kind of retreats back from the onslaught of this big wave. This would have fit perfectly for the elemental plane of water, but you know, let's just roll with it. And you can see instead it slowly submerges you in it as you get kind of washed away to the top. You can either choose to hold on to your stone, but it would drown you, or you can try and attempt to swim.
Do I have any? What's the path to the answer? Drowning or swimming?
Yeah, that's for you to decide.
It's calmed. I will.
And don't forget, this is all
hold my breath and hold on.
Hell yeah. Letting yourself being completely submerged by this presence.
Not my first time.
Yeah. The weight of the ocean is something unbearable. So as you get deeper and deeper, the pressure becomes stronger and stronger. However, you have the mental fortitude as this presence is trying to carefully communicate best way it can with you. And though you're starting to feel the pressure crushing against every limb of your body, you start to see things, and you get the feeling that as you're trying to hold your breath, you're almost passing out. You're at that stage where your vision kind of flickers away, but in those flickers you see images. You can see a great forest, big tall trees, an opening, many different brooks and rivers dissecting each other with water and fountains flowing up into the sky instead of crashing down. And somewhere inside of there, you run through the water, you go down a brook and see a vine-covered doorway intertwined in briars and thorns, held shut somewhere. And with that, the water takes you away. You held your breath as long as you could as it dies, and you open your eyes up again out of the vision, with the last thing you saw were those flashing images.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I have once again topped the list for the dumbest things to do. That was a god. An actual god. That,
You succeeded in contacting them.
Yes. Yes, I don't think I'll do that again for a while. And next time I will prepare the right spell to not be crushed by their presence. But yeah, very long story short, as I felt like I was in there for an hour. Oh boy. It doesn't know what happened to Sylvis. There is no connection from here to them. They want us to completely destroy Megla for hurting the Fae. Also, I got flashes of hints of brooks and a flying geyser into the sky that didn't come back down, of a doorway of thorns and vines and everything, of how to get to them. So I got a hint. But they're God. They're there. They're not on the other side of the gate. And they care. They were nice. They were kind.
That sounds like hope once more.
It is.
You did try to communicate with Vitalios, who is very much connected to life and light and positivity in some way.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there's negative, but it's not like as if you tried to connect with one of the gods that reigns over hell or war or, those kind of things.
Yeah, it was quite different actually
They,
from previous attempts.
I'm sure. The one time I was able to actually, I wouldn't know, because the one time I tried to connect with Sylvis is when I felt the connection break.
Right. Yeah, maybe one day we'll find out what happened to them.
I know where he is. I just need to get to it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think give me a few moments to recuperate after talking to a god, and then we go kick Megla's butt and head to the plane of nature.
That sounds like a great idea.
I guess I looked at Eirik. I will warn you, they're a bit much. I was like a hamster held by a giant.
An ant on a giant volcano.
Yeah. Let's
That's
probably
how
deal
I
with this.
felt. That's how I felt whenever I tried to communicate with Servalon or any higher power like this.
But this one is kind, I will say.
You know what? It doesn't bother me. Not at all. Nope.
Insight check.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Press
well,
X
give me...
to doubt.
Call bluff.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I need 15 minutes, and then we can head out.
it's so simple. Let's just go.
Well, I mean, do we want to scout it out first? Have an idea of how many, what, where?
We did have a hold on, a long rest, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be good to have a bit of a information to go off of.
Right. I
If we
can't
have
use...
the resources, we should be using them.
Yeah, I can't clairvoyance it because I haven't been there. Um,
Mm. I could scry on it. I mean, it's a possibility. It would be hard.
If it's too hard and we risk like losing the resources, then whatever. But
I
just
mean,
feel like
scrying, I have my bowl, so it's not gonna cost me anything to try. It's going to cost me, um, I mean, it's gonna cost me a little bit of a something, but it's not like if I was, trying to revive someone,
Mm.
right? And we have a description of him. Hold on, let me recheck the spell correctly. Hold on, where is it? Scrying. We have heard of the target.
Yep. That's about it.
Let me. Well, I mean, Esafern, do you think you could either image or imitate what he looks like so that I have a mental image of what he looks like?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't seen him personally myself, but I can maybe recreate something that, for what I've heard, maybe that will help.
Yes, if possible.
He then kind of casts Minor Illusion. And by the way, when Fiora casted what's it called again? The contact other plane, one of the trees next to you incinerated and is burned away.
Whoops.
And even with the Minor Illusion he's casting, you can see like a small bramble bush also just burns away.
Oh, that's fun to look at.
And he conjures what looks like a fiery lion that has like these kind of feathered wings that also have like an orange color. It's like, toch my description that I have here is that he has this fiery mane, you know, like a lion. I assume he always looks quite angry. From the stories I heard, and has apparently flaming wings of some sort.
Oh, flaming wings.
Well, wings of, you know. So.
Okay. So, all
Okay,
right.
I will let him roll to see whether or not he actually does it accurate enough. Oof, yeah, no. Unfortunately, his depiction doesn't quite match the reality of the thing.
Okay.
it just looks like glamour with wings.
Well, there's another. We could. I like toward glamour. We could do operation. You know, small ocelot sneaks in while I look through eyes.
I could send my owl with glamour.
Or now.
So
We could both do it from a safe
I
distance.
do also have invisibility prepared.
You could make either the owl or glamour invisible.
Or one of us.
I'm not going in there alone.
I'm not sending one of us to their death alone.
I think that's probably the safest and least resourceful use way. Yeah, maybe we just get close, but out of eyesight, and then just send a familiar in and hope for the best. Either we get something, or it'll be a scuffle. Otherwise,
Can cast it at 3rd level and get 2 creatures.
Yeah, I mean, how long does it last? Is it a minute or an hour?
Concentration for an hour.
Oh,
Oh, well then, we should move a little bit closer. The center of the burnt landscape is
yeah.
a bit further away. And we also have to make sure that none of the fire-scorn elves see us approach. He tends to
Right.
rest alone, but he has a lot of, well,
I can help with that.
Eladrin following them.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick short rest, and then Israel can help us hide as we find a nice scouting point, and then we can send familiars.
Very well.
Great. So I'll use up a hit die quick. Get my health back. That wasn't enough because I rolled super low. There we go. That's my necklace. Don't think I need spell slots. Okay, I'm ready. Ezreal, you want to sneak us in?
Yep. And I'll shake around my staff like I usually do when I do that, and with the leaves that are just appearing and kind of hiding us, I will once again cast Pass Without Trace with my staff.
Yes, as you are doing that, actually, Isophan will kind of hold you first. He's like,
Let's first travel towards the edge of the forest, and then
Oh, okay.
we can hide.
Okay.
The forest has good natural cover, but once we're out in the open fields, it will be difficult to stay away from prying eyes.
and yeah, with that, you kind of just follow along, and he seems to be very well at orienting himself here. And you walk through the forest once more, and it takes around, once again, maybe like an hour or so to get back to the edge, since you traveled an hour deep inside. And there, once again, you can see all the trees and plants and stuff moving, but then suddenly there's just this drop where everything is empty and burnt. And you can see once again that the hues of the sky shift as you get closer to that, to a more orangish, burnt sky view. And then Isophan kind of looks to you, Ezra, and gives you a nod to cast a spell. And after,
Boop, boop, boop.
and after you do that, you see a tree immediately next to you burns away.
Jesus.
And you are now obscured by your magic. Now, this is a skill challenge, the DC of which has been heavily reduced because you have Pass Without a Trace. That has been taken into account. So you can give me any skills you would like to try
Oh, no.
and traverse this landscape.
Wait, let me just look at my history. Religion.
I will use my nature knowledge to move around this ashen land and kind of use the natural way the trunks or the branches are kind of moving to hide us, but also like because we're trying to get to a certain place without being seen, but also without getting too lost. So I would use like the trees and the way they have burned to kind of help us stay away from what would be the most evident path where, I don't know, a group of people would walk through and, just use that as an advantage to kind of move around without being seen.
Yes. Oh, hold up. My OBS is frozen.
Oh.
That's. Oh, it's back. All right, nice. Okay.
Okay. So, nature.
Yes.
Boop. How about inspiration right there?
Okay. Nice. Wow, man, these your pluses are insane, but you roll so low this entire time. It's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's much better. I'll take that. I'll take a 23.
Yeah. You walk now into this very open landscape, and there aren't many trees. Most of the trees have been completely burned to ash and burned to the ground. And that's why the bits of cover you do find are very scarce. And so you have to choose your moments wisely when to walk, and just have to make sure that when you walk over an open space, sometimes there's literally nowhere to hide. You're just praying that there's nowhere there to see you. And you're just making calculative judgments on which areas have more density, which broken trees or rune fragments, of which there are many around here, now exposed, not hidden by the nature around, are big enough for you guys to hide behind. And though you have a little bit of a stumbly start, you kind of strap your boots together and then kind of make your way. After you see a kind of small portion of where there are like 4 or 5 trees that you can hide behind as you travel through this landscape starts, and you make quite good distance with this tactic, and you notice very quickly that just keeping an eye out, you can travel fast as long as nothing's on the horizon. And it's also to your advantage that everything is so open, because obviously little opportunity for other people to be hiding themselves, and so you can move with a rather quick pace after realizing that. However, you then get to a point where you do start to see figures approaching, after which you hide behind what seems to be a little outcropping of a cliff, as in the distance, maybe like 600 feet or so, you saw a couple of figures moving here. You weren't able to confirm whether or not they were enemies or allies, but you are just out of safety hid behind this cliff. And that's the next obstacle you will have to try to overcome.
From there, now that we start seeing creatures and things, I'm going to use perception, and I'm going to hold us back for like 5-10 minutes just to get, like, to look at these beings that are moving around and maybe try to see if there's any kind of pattern to their movement, or does it look like they're interacting with each other, or do they seem totally independent? Trying to get any sense of the reasons for their movement.
Hell yeah.
Jesus. +5.
Alright, 20. Yeah, you take a little peek over the outcropping to kind of see what you're dealing with. And as you do, you have to wait for them to kind of approach you a little bit closer, which they are doing. They aren't, going directly towards you. They're going more kind of vertically to the side, seemingly heading towards the forest that you just came from, which is kind of going to a diagonal of where you are. Luckily, the outcropping that you're at will obscure you, even if they pass you. And as long as they don't look back, they won't be able to see you. And you wait those 10 minutes for them to get closer so you can get a better visual on what these creatures are. And you quickly then also get to see what these are. You see a group of about 5 elven figures, but a little bit different than the elves you have encountered now. They look more similar to Azathia, as in super long, pointy, thin ears that go about a feet out from their heads. They are extremely, extremely thin and slender. Like really almost stick figure proportions. Very tall and lanky individuals. They wear this extremely tight, almost like silver mirror-like armor across their body. And in between some of the portions where the armor doesn't wrap around, you can see a very dark red velvet dress or clothing that they're wearing underneath the armor itself. And trailing behind on the head is this very glowing, orangish, almost fire-like hair that kind of also shifts in hue in orange and yellows, similar to how Ezephone's hair shifts kind of from yellow to also a bit orange, but this is way more pungent. The other thing you notice is that they also wear this kind of briar crown, like with thorns around their heads, with golden leaves attached to it. And following in their stead are two large figures kind of walking slowly, which at first glance you would have thought that they're like mushroom men, but as you look close and they get closer, they seem to be made out of wood. They have this like round head or hat thingy that looks scorched, and the entire body is made out of just intertwining vines and bark. Their right arm is like extended and overgrown, while their left one looks more similar to that of a humanoid arm, and their legs also kind of give root into the ground itself with each step they take. Their abdomen is just a bunch of roots coming in and out of each other, and there are two of those, and those figures seem to be a lot larger than the elves themselves. And what you basically see passing you by is the following.
Oh boy.
So this is the elf. Oh yeah, and they're also carrying a whip in one arm, and then a dagger in the other one, and then the other thing that's walking behind them is this.
They're so slender.
Yeah,
Like,
I told you, stick figure proportions.
wow.
What they have going on.
Burnt sunbed.
And they're slowly creeping their way towards you. However, you do manage, you move the group like along the side of this outcropping to avoid being detected by them. But you can see that they're actively scouting the area, like just slowly using their eyes to comb through the environment. And you see some of them kind of look over towards you, where you just duck down your head and tell the others. And then after they've scouted around a bit, they keep moving on forward and pass you by after a while.
Whoa.
Well, this will be tough. Interesting. As a fern, what threats are they looking for? What do they fight?
Well, anything that would go against what they're doing. Which is basically everyone here in the Feywild. If you do not aid them in their endeavors to burn down the Fey Forest, they will, burn you too.
Interesting. I guess, how do we know that they received some sort of vision? Did they pronounce it? Is there like a Fey meeting where they went there and were like, we had a vision?
No,
We're gonna burn down the Fey.
there haven't been meetings in a long, long time. I think most people by now don't like each other all that well.
Right.
When they attacked my shrine, the portal where you came out of, well, they first announced themselves and asked if I would follow in their deeds. Gave me a torch to burn down my own glade. I obviously refused. I asked them why they'd done this. And they said that, well, Maklar told them about a fire that must be reignited. Out of the ashes of the world tree, a new one will grow. And, well, I myself also have had the vision as well, so it is not unfamiliar to me when they mentioned it.
Mhm. Fire. What's this theme with fire? The devils seem to have gained some sort of special fire,
Yep.
and then these elves are using we're told to create fire.
Mhm.
The same, different? Coincidence that both are fueled by some strange fire? Is there a being out there that can influence both Fae and Devil? Both would be very difficult.
Yes, our planes are very intentionally separate. So,
Right. I gotta look at this picture. Oh, okay.
Coincidence. He says,
fire is the most powerful and destructive element of them all. Well,
Right.
not quite. Storm would, I believe, would be one above there, but storms are hard to control or to create. Fire is much easier. Fire is the most primordial power of which you can gain the most use.
When was it? Was it you, Azrael? When you looked through the telescope and looked at the plane of fire, something was going on? Does that sound right?
Yes. Yes.
That was a long time ago, it feels like.
Yeah. Hold on, just give me a quick second. Let me find it.
It was only like a few days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For us, yeah. Probably just a couple, actually. But no, we had downtime. Okay.
Oh, right.
I don't think it was anything, but I think it was just like flaring or like brighter than usual or something active.
yeah, it was. I will just tell you, it was just flashing.
Yeah,
Flash?
it was.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So it was flashing. I thought that
Yeah.
was it, but I just couldn't remember like fully.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that is next on my list of things to try to contact a giant ball of fire in space.
Good God.
Sure,
When
that
does
would go
it
just
stop
as great.
here?
It doesn't, Eric. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't. I stop when I find my limits, and I'm
Who
still alive.
decides
So I'm
what your
fine.
limits are, though? That's the question.
My experiments. They decide everything.
Good Lord.
Okay, anyways, so he's on the move. He has how many guards? 4? Or did I wasn't paying enough attention.
There are 5 of those fire scorn elves and 2 of those burned sunbeds.
Oh jeez. Okay, so we have a real fight on hands. So
So
one fire
We attack
lion.
these guys right now.
but as a firm would say, and he says,
Well, I don't think, as long as we don't gain any attention from these folk when we make our way to Makla, he doesn't usually keep company around. He's, like I said, a very arrogant creature, doesn't like to be in the company of other individuals. He just calls them when he needs them to do things. So as long as we are able to get there without being noticed, then we'll have our greatest advantage.
Oh boy.
Time to start
I
being
can-
sneaky sneaks.
I can change out spells to be sneakier if that guarantees success. I could give it to both me and... You're trained in stealth, right, Eric? So just me and Azrael to have
Yeah.
a rough time. Because I could give me and Azrael proficiency. I just have to swap spells.
well, for this, just to reiterate, you're doing a skill challenge to get through this, so you don't have to
Yeah.
do stealth.
Right. We're still in the middle of the challenge.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes.
And you're using a variety of skills to try and keep quiet that are more than just moving quiet. Which is, as now you're having this small discussion, you can see that they have now passed away and have kind of crest over a hill and as that you get completely out of view, giving you once again the space to get closer to wherever Magla is.
Okay, I think I'm gonna try something wild. I want to try religion.
Okay.
And to you, to you, to use it, essentially, there's a lot of gods. I assume a lot of, well, we're in a burnt area, I guess. So that'd be harder because everything is dead. Boy, that makes it tougher. Okay, no, scratch that. That's gonna be too difficult in that area. Let's go with investigation, and I'm just gonna look for has least walked. They burned this area, we can go through there, type of thing. More life this way, more traffic this way. Just take my time to find areas they obviously used and don't go there anymore.
All right.
It's a big group, so it should be pretty
Yeah.
easy. They need space. Maybe I'll make it like a very basic map. Just to help a little bit.
Yeah. And with a 25, you definitely do that as you're kind of walking past, just keeping track. And you do see there is frequent travel around here. It seems like these Firescorn elves do frequent still this burned landscape, searching for anyone who would dare approach their leader. And doing so, you keep the paths in mind to lead you in the right direction while also staying away from them far enough just so you don't actually meet any of the ones who created these paths in the first place, because that also would be bad news, which indeed does happen once again. You see another troop of these elves. This time it's like 8 elves and 3 of these burned sunbeds, but you found a nice location early enough, as you saw that there were like some fresh footprints here, meaning that someone was here quite recently. And it's easy to detect the footprints of the burned sunbed because each time they step down, their roots kind of go into the earth, and when they step out again, they just kind of break off and stay behind. So their tracks are very easily followed. But once again, you manage to avoid them quite easily and get to a point where you can see in the distance a small hill, almost like a mountain, start to form. Not really a mountain, it's not that high, it's just, elevation starting to happen, whereas the rest of the environment was rather flat, where you then would hear everyone say,
I believe this must be the area. Think it's at the very apex of this hill. There used to be an old shrine that existed there, and that he has now made his, well, I would call it base of operations, but from what I've been told, it's just broken rubble. So I think if there's a point to do our plan with the familiars, it would best be now. I don't think he's too far away.
which at this moment you will now also start to become more consciously aware that the heat has been steadily increasing as you were approaching this hill.
Of course. Well, this will be good practice for the volcano.
Hey, jeez.
Okay, glamour. Then your owl. What color's glamour? Is he like golden?
Yeah, he's like a ocelot.
Okay.
So like dotted, almost like a leopard.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, so I think what we do is we change glamour and your owl's colors. We use soot to make them dark and blend in.
Excuse me?
And then I'll clean
Just
them
go with it.
afterward. But yes, glamour can scout from the ground and your owl from the sky, and Irik can make them invisible.
Yeah.
Just in case. But a suit does have to come first.
Oh my god. This is
My
true.
owl happily rolls around in the soot, getting all dirty and stuff.
See, Clever? That is a team player.
It's despicable. I have pride. That's how I contribute to this team.
The little
Make
owl
hand, I push him over.
hops and just starts rubbing
Ah.
on Glamour, making it dirty.
Ah.
Another mage hand comes in there and does his face really gently.
No, my glamorous clothing. Wait, let me at least undress. Because he has like this, fancy glamorous shirt that he made. That he
I
slowly.
can clean it all. It's fine.
It's about how you present yourself, alright? If I get spotted, at least I want to look good. I don't want.
You're
to-
already spotted.
He like slowly just lies down, starts falling. One day,
Okay.
I shall have my revenge.
One day. One day I will think of a spell to make you super powerful. Stronger than all of us.
I shall be. I will hold you to that word. For the dirt I'm eating right now.
Remember, Glamour, I promised you that when we would slow down, well, Jade and I promised you when we slow down that we would get you your shop and your
Oh, yeah. Were you
You're-
there? Because Zephyrus
yes.
promised us a bastion should we succeed. And I might need somebody to run all the businesses.
Okay, how about this? I will make a deal with you right now. As he stands up with now matted fur covered in ash and dust. Looking
Yeah,
like,
I poof his cheeks a little bit with some ash.
alright. A deal right now. I will never complain ever again about getting dirty. If I'm allowed to name your bastion.
Oh, Jesus.
I put my
Oh,
hand
boy.
forward.
Izarel?
That's a
That's
deal,
a-
Glamour.
We've had deals with devils that are more dangerous than this.
Don't you even worry. Have you seen the clothes that Glamour has done for us? It
I
would be
haven't, and I
a
appreciate that.
dishonor. It would be a dishonor on him to name our bastion something completely stupid, because then it is a reflection on his own clothes, and he would not do that because he is too prideful for that. I say as I tap on his head.
Oh, boy.
Dust off. Just dust comes off as you tap his head. It's like, oh. So, deal or no deal?
Very well.
He reaches out the paw.
Oh, is that toward me?
Yes.
All this?
Yeah, you're the
Oh,
caster.
okay. Yes, okay. I reach down and shake it very gently.
Alright. I shall stop
Good.
complaining now and go on my secret subterfuge espionage mission. Turn me invisible, baby.
Would.
All right, well, I'll take my wand and trace the outlines of their bodies like I'm using the lasso tool in Photoshop. And then it fills them in with this shimmering color, and then
Cool. Yeah, I'll sit down and go into his senses.
Yep, same. I'll put myself into my meditative state and, position, and roll my eyes into my owl.
Alrighty. Then y'all can give me, first of all, stealth checks, this time with advantage.
Hopefully it works. Storm. Clear. Stealth. Advantage. Roll. 2.
I will have to roll twice.
Whoa! Clever. Nat 20.
Hey man, he
Attaboy.
has stakes running on this now.
Yeah.
Stakes.
Not bad. Not bad.
Advantage. You make it a nat 20.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Hell
We
yeah.
used all of our good rolls here.
Hey man, I'm telling you, the familiars in my campaign, for some reason, crazy. Now this is gonna... I will go on a small tangent while I'm waiting for the second roll to come. Which is...
Right, I have a second roll. For some reason, didn't want to do.
In my other campaign, they're level 4. They were trying to prevent someone from escaping. They were at the edge of the map. Literally one square and they would be out of the map and they would have escaped. And the only thing that was next to them was the familiar of the druid.
Oh.
And obviously they wanted to move out of the map. And then I just said, all right, you can make an attack of opportunity, even the familiars can't attack. And I said, if you roll a natural 20, somehow you prevent them from leaving. And then they rolled a natural 20 to prevent them from leaving. That's
awesome.
And in the same combat, like 3 turns before that, they had another opportunity attack where they also rolled a natural 20. So, yeah.
All right.
Familiars on a streak. Anyways, that by side, Blow's Glamour and the Owl start to move forward, both in equal levels of disguise and stealth, as your Owl is silently flying over the sky, and Glamour is, well, you know, as an ocelot, you do have the capabilities of quiet footsteps and to traverse the terrain in quiet steps. And looking through their senses, you don't even have to do a perception check because it's very open. As you go up several steps of this hill, you can see first what seems to be a ruined archway. Portions of it's broken. You can see a circular, walled structure that is also crumbled, and you can see many different fragments of ruins. You can also see there's a burning tree, some burning rocks, a fallen ashen tree stump lying on the ground. You can also see some strange kind of like petrified stone spires that go up into the sky that may have been trees at some point and just have aged and turned to stone. But more importantly, you can see a pyramid-like structure at the very apex of this hill that has like these stairs moving up on top of it with a roaring fire that is just blazing there. The Owl has a very good view over this pyramid, while Glamour has a little bit trouble getting towards it because there's like a outcropping of a cliff that he would have to climb above to get to the pyramid itself. But even from a distance, you can see that there's a shape lying inside of this fire. The Owl can see folded wings on the back. Part of the flame itself, you can see the vague shape underneath the wings is a lion-esque form, just lying within the flame itself, but obscured by the fire, so you can't see much of it just because of the nature of the opaque flames that he's kind of resting inside of. Though you don't feel it, but your familiars and inside of Glamour, and they're too far away to telepathically communicate with you, but they're sweating. They burn a little bit as they're in the proximity of Magla, as he's just kind of lying inside of there.
Well, we're looking. Can I see any signs of writing, glyphs, icons, pictures?
For that, you can make a perception check.
I would hope.
I will also
Is that-
ask while he's rolling for Glamour. With my Owl, I'd like to do a perimeter sweep to see. Okay, Glamour. To see like how far around Magla is without anyone. So like kind of do a perimeter of like how close to him we need to get to be alone with him.
Yeah, you can also make a perception check there.
Yes.
See what I told you? See what I told you about familiars in my campaign?
We need to level up Glamour. He's got to be like a level 2 familiar.
Wow.
And I'm still rolling pretty well with my
That's
freaking owl, like
crazy.
without the nat 20s. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so Glamour was a natural 20. Can definitely see several iconographies of like sylvan depictions that are very fire related. Though they are more like, more like decoratory inscriptions rather than language or anything else. But once again, most of them are, kind of burned and crumbled down and eroded of whatever happened here. The circular structure that's kind of Glamour's kind of also hiding behind as he's walking by. You can also see different iconographies of like feathers, of a bird and flame, and it depicts like a small story of, the legend of the Phoenix. That this is a place that worshipped, the bird of immortal fire. And so you definitely see some semblance of that this is attuned to that creature itself. And that's mostly what you find with that natural 20 perception check there. Most of it has been already burned to the crisp. You don't see any magical forces per se in the area. There are no rifts or dimensional gates or anything in the surrounding. This is really just pure scorched down old ruins. For Iceral, though she may not be here, I will at least tell you guys, he seems to be rather isolated, as in he's the only one within a vicinity of at least 5 miles of which the owl can perceive on the horizon. So for anyone to even come here, at least would have to travel 5 miles, as there's nothing within the 5-mile vicinity. So you would definitely have some time before anyone would notice, and even if one would notice, once again, it will take quite a while before they get to you, unless they have, some sort of magical means of transportation. The other thing you see is there are like some, once again, dark pools of, this kind of oily dirt and sooted water that's just spread around, which you've seen before, and a couple of what's it called, just like small holes in the ground, like dents, like small craters and stuff like that. Just overall damage being done to the environment. I will actually, just for the benefit, since you rolled so well, I will put you on the map. But only Iceral and yeah, because I can do that now.
Really?
Yes, that's what I've been doing with Eirik. So, do you see anything?
It's black. Everything is black.
Alright, then I do have to put your tokens inside, which is fair since you are actually there. So, here's a Fia Kron.
Whoa!
Here's a Iceral.
That looks horrible.
So that is what you see, and in the middle of that burning, raging fire is where you obviously see the form of the, well, lion creature.
Yeah, I like the fire. How like tall are these like stone bits?
They're about 15 feet tall.
15 feet. Okay.
For which stone bits do you mean, the stone structures or the?
Like to the right and left. Yeah, like the ones we're near. On the outside.
Those walls, those would only be 10 feet high.
Okay. And the pyramid?
The pyramid is around 30 feet tall.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Okay.
25 feet.
Just by the way, I would be describing everything I see to Eirik, just talking, constantly talking,
Yeah.
saying what I see.
Okay.
And I can't hear if Fiera's talking, so I'm just talking.
Yeah, they're
Fear
both.
just like, oh, cool, neat. Oh, I like that. Oh, look at that. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go out of the view and let Lammer do whatever he wants. I've seen enough. But to Esafern, I will ask, what can you tell us about the Phoenix, if anything? Was there a mythical Phoenix in history?
Yes, most definitely. Must have been one. I mean, it was the Phoenix who gave Magla his powers.
It says who? Magna?
Well, yeah, well, the legends surrounding Magla, he's an Empyrean after all. You don't just become an Empyrean. Well, he might be pretending to be one, but by his capabilities, I wouldn't doubt yours.
But then, can you take divine blood? Can you take divine power by force?
I can't say I know an answer to that question.
Because obviously there's more to this story. The fact that the runes are burned. I mean, I don't know where we'd go to find out, but without a name, I can't really do much. Regardless, we have to take him out. He's by himself. We could come from any angle. There is some cover, but there's also strange pools of black yuckiness. That remind me of tar, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess, do we all have protection for fire?
We'll see.
I can protect myself mostly. Eirik, you might have to be literally as close to him as possible.
Yeah, I'd have
Although
to
he
get
probably
my-
has claws and teeth.
To get protection, I'd have to go into my flame state.
And Israel,
I'm-
are you protected against fire?
I'm still in my owl.
Oh,
I don't hear you. I'm still describing everything that I'm seeing.
Israel?
Like,
Okay, I feel pushing. Oh, I'll come back into my. Yes, yes.
We're just forming a plan. Do you have any protection against fire?
I can. Let me double check. Am I?
see, actually.
Let me see. Let me. I am not attuned to the thing that allows me to protect myself from fire. However, I can make myself resistant to a couple, well, not necessarily resistant, but I can sanctuary myself. I can,
You have something.
yeah, I can help myself a little bit.
Okay. Well, we also can't let him fly away. I don't really have the best options for that, but I have some options. I can't fly today, but I can figure something out.
I did not change my spells when we woke up, so this.
Yeah.
A minute. Well, I do want to protect our healer. So I've never cast a spell before.
Yeah,
Um,
I forgot to change my spells when we woke up, so now I'm kind of stuck with the spells that I had. Which is I still have some attacking spells. Like, I'm not in a dire situation like I've been before, but I definitely am not prepared to fight a fire-flying creature.
Yeah, most of my spells as well, that deal damage are fire-based. But
Okay, well, he's alone, and I have magic.
Luckily, the bulk of my damage comes from radiance. So
yeah,
Well,
he might also
he's
be.
divine.
Yeah.
Either resistant or immune, we don't know, but it would be good to find out.
Okay, I can conjure a few things. I can call on a few friends. I can turn into a certain friend. I would burn easily, but I can. There's a few things I can do. I can do some slashing damage. I can do some bludgeoning damage, some force damage. It's just not my most potent.
Yeah. I also will be able to, keep you all alive. I was never one to fight a lot, but I can help you in your endeavors. Maybe make it easier for you to hit him. And so maybe try and hold him in place if possible.
Yep, all good things. Well, Iser will take this, and I will cast a spell, put it into bead, and then hand it to you. Maybe at the start of the fight, use this right away, and it'll protect you for a minute. Kind of just put it in your palm.
And is that your hamster ball?
For spells, I guess, technically. Arcane Avians. Yes, there's an abjuration spell in there that can help you. Well,
Okay,
I guess it's transmutation, but it'll protect you. Okay, well, longer we wait, the better chance people come get him.
Right, then, I guess we'll walk in now.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's...
How are you guys wishing to approach? Slowly or...
Let's try to get the jump on him again.
Yep.
If we can.
Yeah. We try.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess slow.
Okay. Then, now you can make your stealth checks. I would also say Pass Without Trace by this point has already disappeared since it was more than an hour to reach this point. But you can recast it if you wish to.
Yes, I can, and I will. There it is.
You will.
Yeah. 16.
I'll give you a +5 to that.
Oh. Thank you. I will not walk in the open anymore.
33.
26. Yay!
Hell yes. You manage to approach safely. Well, unnoticed for now as you get closer and closer and closer. With the veil of magic still kind of holding you away, and you can see, you see this Fiero stand up and just walk straight towards it. You just hold her at the collar and just yank her back down and just kind of keep tight grip
How
of
do you
her.
stealth? I don't know what stealth means.
Just
And
relax.
I will now take you all to the battle map, and then you can basically, once again, same rules apply. Move yourselves.
Oh my god.
I'm happy for the middle. So that means I'll get behind a rock and call it a day.
I would probably put myself like right here.
Oh my god, yeah, my fucking laptop is not handling these fire animations very well. Or at least my music, for some reason, just keeps kind of...
Yeah, the music is not there.
It's there.
keeps cutting out. But it's also only the one track for some reason. Actually, I will just...
Where's
Oh.
my glamour?
Yeah. That...
Oh, right. I need to put...
Yeah.
Alright, I think, just for the purposes of my freaking...
Boss fight.
There it is.
I will pause some of these animations, just so... If I could, that is...
I must see what this guy looks like if there's art.
Of course
A
there
lion
is.
with flaming wings.
Oh.
Napping.
Oh. Oh,
Oh. But
there is one fire that is immobile now.
Yes, I've done that with the hopes that it would... make my RAM less... Why is the one fire just out? I just disappears from me. That is not good. Wow.
Me. What I can do is also... Oops.
Oh, it's back. Oh no, it just disappears if I pause it. Ah, that's why I usually never do animations.
There you go. Fire.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Big fire there. Actually, I might be able to...
Whoosh. Oh Jesus! It's like a fire slime.
There you go. Fire.
Alright. I think I've managed to solve the problem.
Fire. Fire.
So, what is your plan of operation? You set yourselves up there. It's like...
I don't know. Do we probably have to get closer? We're still pretty far away. Moving's dangerous, though. Would be great if we could put out that middle fire.
Yeah, it's almost like you have someone who can extinguish fires.
If only.
If I thought, if I was intelligent, I would have prepared all of my water-based spells.
Waterbend.
No, but wall of water and call lightning and then those things, but I
Oh,
did
yeah.
not think about that.
How about we have Eirik put it out, and then we just throw whatever we can at him to wake him up. Oh, you muted.
Yeah.
I can go right into the flame state. Like, I'm not gonna be close enough to do any damage to anything, but if I'm already in the flame state for a minute, I can maybe continue, like, unless these are ever burning flames, but we won't know unless I try.
Right. Yeah, we can just back you up.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, you
really
can be our lead
wanted-
on this one, essentially.
if we really wanted, I can just,
Oh, I could
Use-
haste you too.
well, I could haste myself too if we wanted. Because where's our friend right now? Like on the pyramid?
Yeah.
He's in the fire.
Right.
Which I'm slowly taking away because they don't have to.
I got the fire. Don't
Exactly,
worry. The
yeah.
fire has been
placed.
taken. Yes, the fire is there. With my beautiful art. Look at me. I'm an artist.
That is the art for Magla.
Yes.
These flames.
Yes. It's beautiful.
I mean, if we wanted to just, like, I could just go straight towards the middle fire, and you guys could do whatever you need to do. And then once I get, it's going to take me a couple rounds to get there, but once I get there, I can enter flame state and just, or I just do it all at once. Just start in flame state.
I think you get as close as you can before you do that. Until we see him clearly, we can't really cast spells at him.
Yeah. So that'll be... If I wanted to get right up to him, movement, dash, 50 feet. 50. It's 2 rounds for me to get right to the center. But I can try to extinguish flames. I forget what the distance was. Any natural or magical fire within 120 feet. So from the middle,
Oh, that's
I
pretty
can
much
reach them
here.
all.
Well, I don't know if we have to extinguish all of them, but the center one for sure.
I mean, if I was, hang on. That's 1 round of movement. From there, I can
If we
reach
think he's using them, yeah.
1 round of movement, and I can reach them all.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I mean, we'll follow your lead. If you want to flame off and then flame his stuff off, then
I mean,
I think you should be the one to kick it off, though, whatever you want to do. Obviously, the middle flame's the threat.
where is our, what's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Fern? As a fern?
He would most likely stuck with you, Israel, because you're not the most stealthy.
Yeah.
In fact, I should have hold for him. Good enough.
Okay. If you guys think you're ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
I will, even though I don't know if he's still listening, but crouch down into the fetal position and start trying to reach out to Tolvar and just be like, hey, I swear to God, I hope you're continuing to help us here. This is all for you. Flame state. And I'll come up and do my movement and dash to get forward.
Alright. Initiating things as you activate your flame state. Fire illuminating the space around you as your hair, your eyes, everything starts to flicker with the infernal powers granted to you by Tolvar, and you rush towards there. And after you do that, you all hear a stirring in the flames and can see movement within it, as an obvious bright explosion like that would wake up anyone from their slumber. And you can feel the immensity of the heat suddenly surge in the surrounding. Not enough to burn you yet, as a form lifts itself up, the wings kind of furling out of the flames itself. They don't seem to be completely made out of fire, but they look like feathered phoenix wings that edge out of the fire itself as a fiery mane lifts up out of the contour of this fiery dome that he was sitting inside of, and slowly stepping out, trying to see what disturbed its slumber. You just see this very angry, rigid-looking, fiery lion face, its mane completely made out of flames. You can see it wears like golden banners, has two large horns coming out from the side, the tips of which glow also with bright white embers, and intertwined in its horns are these golden leaves, similar to the vine crowns that these scorn elves were carrying. He has ornaments around his body, these golden rings attached around his forearms, almost as braces. He also wears like a cloth made out of like this dark blue silk that kind of drapes down where his hind legs are as he kind of steps out. And this is what you see as he steps out of there.
That.
Who disturbs my slumber?
The heat emanating from him, flickering with a radiant, glowing flame, very different from infernal flames that you've seen before, as his piercing eyes, the slits of orange, aims towards you, Eirik, with your own fire eyes, peering against him as he steps down a bit from his self-proclaimed throne. And that is where we're gonna end today's session. At least this session. Because I do believe that this fight is gonna take a while. And so
Really?
we shall
course,
see.
man.
The other two, while this is happening, interaction with Eirik, you still get your surprise rounds. Just be aware of that.
Okay.
But we
We have
should...
a feed if you want to use it.
and so we'll see what exciting thing is gonna happen the next time we play. So until a couple of minutes. Bye.